Hello there, and welcome to part 4 of my 100 sub special. It's taken me a while to actually get this done because, because my computer getting into its current state, and I got completely destroyed there by Clown. My computer in its current state is not very capable of doing much, and it takes, even longer than normal to even do anything. So yeah, long story short, the reason Clown's name is Clown Phaerus is because shortly after these fights he changed his name to I hesitated too long. I planned on, doing a attack from just a regular attack and as they woke up, but then I remembered I was poisoned and went to eat the moss, and yeah. So anyways, Clown was named like that because Clown was named like that because he recently changed his name to Demonic Fajitas, and he was saying to people, "Oh, you can call me Clown or you can call me Fajitas," and I went, "Well, I'm going to call you Clown Fajitas." So yes, at this point, I tried switching builds, ended up with this one, which is my main quality build, although it's not that good. I'm not sure whether that's because I've currently got an armor setup to get the poise I need, but it's not the setup that I originally planned for it, and it has lower defenses, or because in an attempt to not limit it to 2 ring slots with the Fap ring, it's got not that much HP in comparison to what I'm used to. But anyways, so I encountered these 2 guys, and they were most likely going through the level, but I'm not 100% sure. Probably they were, because this is probably one of the worst places you could gank, and it's just they sort of went backwards after they eventually killed me, so they weren't willing to come here at all, so I thought maybe I could get them onto the bridge and kick them off before realizing that all of my weapons were had special kick animations, so I wouldn't be able to kick. Yeah. Oh man, this was funny because, even though there's 2 of them, they're still scared to go into New Londo to get me, so... And eventually this is what happened. For some reason it seems like the audio is really out of sync on my video, and hopefully it'll be fine, but yeah, so I just get completely destroyed, as you do when you're stuck between a scimitar and a great sword. Yeah. Right, here was another guy I invaded here. So I was trying to invade Clown, and it wasn't going very well. And I thought, hey, he's AFK, I'll try kicking him off the edge. At which point he came back and proceeded to destroy me. Yeah, this current setup on this build, using the Fury Sword, yeah, I was so determined for that backstab to just try and get him off the edge that I completely stopped, fighting. But yeah, the current setup, the Quelaag's Fury Sword in the offhand, and the Falchion on the main hand, personal favourite setup of mine for it, and yeah, against this guy, I did that, and thinking about it, I probably should have continued to kill him, because I'm not particularly fond of fighting Darkmoon Blade, but when I realised that he was actually, yeah, because that's what happens when you fight someone with Dark Moon Blade. But yeah, it's just something. Yeah, so back to Clown Leaders, we move to the Chasm of the Abyss for this after that. So, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, so me being the, had a moment of honor souls and went, oh, I've just backstabbed him whilst he was just backstabbed him. Yeah, this was an interesting one. Well, so yeah, invade world, target destroyed, fair enough. And then I was gone. So, this is the last match with Clown, so, and, yeah. The reason I quite like this setup is, yeah, I could have got something on that. Yeah, the reason I like this setup is because it's a very agile setup. Not agile enough though, apparently. Because when fighting against anyone with low poise, it can stun lock them for eternity. With, if you mix up the R1s and R2s, and then the offhand ones, got good range and can dead angle quite well. So yes, this guy was Soul of Siegfried, the person who invaded and died immediately the first time. Sunlight Blade, and, I have no idea what he's pointing down for. Some people I'll never understand. But, yeah. And at first I thought he might have been doing a Siegfried from Soul Calibur cosplay, but I find that highly unlikely considering things. Ah yes, so this one's sped up a lot, because this was probably one of the most anticlimactic fights I've ever had. Because I was obviously searching for this guy, and I had a feeling he was down by the path to Sith. Had quite a strong feeling with that. However, because of the fall damage from it, I wanted to check every other possibility first. So, and I had a bit of indecision between going from one place to another. And in the end, I found him. Anyways, I'll just let you watch this, because by speeding it up, it's made my computer show me this wonderful slideshow of me standing in front of one place and then me standing in front of another place. So, hopefully it will sort itself out after the actual sped up bit is done, because if not, it's going to be awkward for me to keep recording this. So here we go. Hit him once with that, see his health doesn't go down, and then I get Hornet backstabbed from across the room by that crystal straight sword weapon name. So, final fight. Me just failing to get parries that I'm sure I should have been able to, failing to get dodges, and then I just roll off the edge. So that went well. So yeah, then I decided I'd just move on, because I wanted to get at least one fight in with this build, and so I ended up encountering this guy in the archives, who summoned a phantom and had a lovely, lovely Great Shield of Artorias. And then as soon as their phantom came along, they decided, hey, I'm going to get offensive here, and that didn't go too well for them. So and here was some arranged fights with FPSsnake, who, for those who don't know and somehow haven't subbed to him and have subbed to me, or he does cosplay videos for characters outside of Dark Souls. So at the moment, as you can see, he's doing his Corvo build, which was what he was working on at the time. And I'm using my PP build, which was designed for a specific purpose, and in the first match I just got completely destroyed by him. Yeah, because funnily enough, 20 poise is not a lot of poise, and you know, a single arrow will stun me, and that's how much Fairfolk Yaron cosplay would have. So yeah, so then I went to my regular setup, and I got very lucky there that, because, you know, I tried dead angling it and it didn't dead angle quite as I wanted it to. That wasn't another incredibly lucky one, and yeah, I just had to do that a moment because it's so close to killing me. So yes, this next fight, here's a build if you ever want to, you know, not win any fights, go for this. And it's a new Londo Ghost. Hence the reason I'm using the fog ring, even though it has no actual strategic value in this sort of situation. And really, that's the only reason I ever use... yeah, the only reason I ever use the Jagged Ghost Blade is because that R2 looks absolutely awesome. Anyways, I was very quickly disposed of. So we then had, I believe, one more fight, and this time I'm once again using the main setup for PP. However, I forgot to put on the to take off the Hornet Ring and put on the Darkwood Drain Ring. So, and I'm also using the offhand weapon, which is Filler's Dagger, which a lot of people will tell you is pretty bad, and if you ever get the bleed on it, it's awesome, and it's got a really cool moveset. I was trying to finish him off quickly before everything else got here, but that backfired. Still trying to finish him off, but still not going well, and then I decided to make a hasty retreat, at which point I realised the tree was still there. So, yeah. And worst place to possibly be, and yeah, he got me like that. So, of course, me being me, I cleared out the entire forest just in time for him to invade again. And yeah, so I was planning on ambushing him when he tried aggroing the forest, but I was in the wrong place at that time. So I just came straight for him, and yeah. He's got a very distinctive style here. He turtles behind the shield until you hit him once, goes for that wake-up parry, and then attacks straight away, hence the reason he wasn't able to get that riposte, which would have probably ended me. So after that I was a bit more careful when it came to my attacks and tried to dead angle a bit. I tried to parry that there and forgot I had a straight sword equipped, so... and here's definitely an interesting one. Because of his strategy, I was actually able to do this. Because he went for the parry and then straight for the attack, so... Instead he got pancaked. So then I got into a couple of fights with Phaerus. I think it was one here, then I got summoned by someone else, and then back into Phaerus again. Phaerus also does videos, and if you haven't already, check his channel out too. I believe his username on YouTube is Phaerus DKS. So, yeah, he started off using... Actually, no, he used this build all along, and I started off using my bladeless one, and I think I didn't do too badly against him in those fights. I probably shouldn't have gone for that wake up, because it left me open to that very easy backstab, but oh well. Next up is the Lost Gankers, and I've called them that, and we'll see out the name because they've got their name. So I think this guy was obviously trying to make it look like it was a one-on-one, but I knew that the other guy was there, and I was trying to get a backstab in on him so I could go and try and fight the other one at that point. And yeah. This is an awkward build to fight gankers on, because it's a mid-roll build, so I'm not as fast as I want to be, and yeah, that's why I call them the Lost Gankers, because one's called Lost Dark Heart and the other's called Lost Heart Beat. So taking name comboing to the max there. So yes, then some more fights with Phaerus. Once again, I think a personally good start. Yeah, and actually I think that this is the one this was a very close match. So Phaerus can actually toggle pretty well, and he's got a very nice variety of weapons at his disposal. He's got a great club, he's then able to have a halberd on, and I probably would have won this if I'd taken the time to get a backstab, but oh well. So we're both on the last bit of health, and it's down to the last bit, and his was just slightly faster, so yes, I then fought him again, and yeah, this time I've switched to my heavyweight build, got my Black Knight set up. So my Black Knight's capable of, with a Havel's Ring, having all of the Black Knight weapons equipped, so long as it's able to have one and the Black Knight sword and one of the others, because the others are significantly heavier. So anyways, however, I do believe I won this fight mainly to lag, because if you just look at that was insane. And it happens again, just most likely that was lag. And before I get complained at for this, he asked in the Dark Souls chat that after people killed him that they taunted. So that was the first one, and here's another one I'm going to have to apologise for, because I forgot completely that the Stone Knights have shields. And as stupid as that sounds, it's because it's because this is the first time that I've been using the Stone Knight as opposed to the Stone Guardians, and the Stone Guardians don't have shields, and I forgot about it. So fortunately, every time I've done this cosplay since then, I've had the shield, and yeah, I fought him like this just so I could taunt him like this. But yeah, I believe I've got one more fight with Phaerus, and then one more fight which was in Phaerus' world against SuicideFrog, and yeah, so this is another one that started off quite well, and yeah, I'm normally terrible personally. I think the Stone Guardian is probably one of my worst cosplays, because the range on the Stone Great Axe is just too short for me, and I was rolling around a lot. In fact, he used throwing knives very well, because I had to roll to I had to roll to dodge them, at which point most of my stamina was getting used up, and what I was hoping for there was to be able to get him on the uppercut when he came in for the final kill, but he was faster than me, so yeah, GG Phaerus. And here's the one Frog's been waiting for. I came in on my Shieldmonger. And for those of you who don't know, it's a pretty ridiculous build, and yet, oddly enough, it's actually quite good if you've got the right stats, which I don't on this build. The only advantage this one has over the actual good setup is it can wield Smo's hammer as well, which gives me an awful lot of weight, and I can actually use it. But yeah, so basically it's the Helm of the Wise, Smo's armor, Artorius' leggings, and Havel's gauntlets for a total of 80 poise. And yeah, he actually wanted to finish me off with a firebomb, because that's how it ended up. But yeah, so for that for 80 poise, with the Pierce Shield in the main hand, the Titanite Catchpole in the offhand, mainly for looks, but also can be quite useful. And then in the other two slots you've got the Pitchfork in the main hand for the running dives, and another weapon depending on what you're able to use, preferably a heavyweight weapon like Smo's hammer. However, like the great swords, spy handlers might also work, although personally the hammers do look the best. And they've also got quite a bit of damage and poise break. But yeah, so this was an interesting fight as well, because I think, you know, he started off fighting seriously, but then he realised it wasn't, and you know, he switched to his sisters, and you know, he did a reverse roll on, well, I can do those too, so I'll show him. At which point he rolled backwards, so he ended up in the perfect position for a backstab finish. So yeah, so then I went on Empyrean for a bit, because I wanted to have a bit of time with this build, you know, as I said, switching all the builds up, and I got invaded by this guy with a very interesting name of 3 Sandwiches. And people taking to heart my advice on fighting spears, I got stuck in that corner there, it was terrible. And that was an awful lot of R1 spam. But yes, the advice on fighting spears being, hold up the shield. However, yeah. And if I think, yeah, that guy's in full Artorius, except for the weapons and shields, so I'm not happy with him, because I don't like people wearing a complete set of 1 gear, if they're then not going to play in that gear. And yeah, this person I'm willing to bet is, yeah, he's got a lightning katana, turtling with a boulder shield in the Dark Wraith set, except those look like giant, well, those leggings look different. I think he's got different leggings on. But yeah, so he, you know, he essentially just turtled and then went for spam afterwards. So I just had to reverse backstab fit him, but then unfortunately he managed to block that, and then as I was going for it again, he got the backstab. So, but yes, this was when I was trying to get some fights in with Zin, and I believe this is actually the last fight now against him, although I've got the rest will be up on the next part when that eventually gets done. So yes, this is the last fight, and Zin had only just come back to Dark Souls and was getting used to PvP again, and you know, the matches went quite well. Most of them were actually pretty close, so yeah, my lower poise than normal meant he could actually stun me with that thing, so I was meant to be practicing toggles, but I wasn't doing a very good job of that. There was a bit of lag, but... And if there's one thing I've got to say about ninja flips and spears, is I've more or less figured out how to get ninja flippers with spears on, you know, people who ninja flip really well can get away with it, but it was just, in some fights I was able to stun lock someone with a spear, and even though they flipped away every time, I just timed it so I was able to get them. But anyways, that's that, and I shall see you next time, and for the final part.